Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for a Wednesday edition of the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk everything Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates. I am your host, Brady Vini. What is going on, everyone? Another day, and another day filled with tons of Pittsburgh sports news to talk about all three teams. We're going to start off the show here and move kind of quickly, more than we have been usually over the past couple of days here. We're going to move a little bit more quickly today through the Pittsburgh sports news because two games going to have our interest tonight. We'll start off with one here in a matter of moments. The Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the Cincinnati Reds coming up here at around 6:45. Paul Skenes on the mound in his final start of the 2025 season with a chance of history on the line. He will be going up against the Cincinnati Reds ace Hunter Green in a matchup that, quite honestly, I haven't been really hyped for Pittsburgh Pirates baseball in quite some time, but I'm legitimately pumped up for this ball game. Skenes, his final start against Hunter Green, the flamethrower for the Reds. Lots on the line, at least for the Reds part of this matchup. They last night, because the Pirates beat them, no longer controlling their fate in the final wild card. So Skenes going up against a highly motivated must-win team in the Cincinnati Reds. Lots to talk about in that matchup we will begin with here in a matter of moments. After that, we'll get into some Pittsburgh Steelers news a little bit. Today, they had a practice before they hop on a jet to Ireland tomorrow. Two players back at practice. We talked about them yesterday. Deshaun Elliott, Joey Porter Jr. back at practice. What did their participation look like? That and much more in our second segment of the day. And then after that, a little bit more Pittsburgh Steelers news. We'll get into some hockey news. The Pens tonight, a game that we actually can watch. It'll be available on their website. Pens versus Columbus Blue Jackets in Columbus tonight. Should be an interesting matchup to see how some players do there. All of that and much more coming up in the show here today. Before we officially get things going here, if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live or upload a video again. Like this live stream, share this live stream, and leave a comment in the comments section. Like always, any thoughts, questions, or opinions that you may have, get those in there, super chat or regular. And then be sure to stop by later tonight for a new edition of SCSR 60, and go give the channel a follow at Steel City SR on Facebook, Instagram, and X. With that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. Got a lot to cover today, and let's try to get it all in a short amount of time so we can go see what is going on in full with the Pens and the Pirates tonight. Bucks and Pucks, one of the really only times that you are going to get that this year because the Pirates have been so bad. Starting off with the Pirates last night, we talked about it a little bit. The Buccos, they, with nothing to play for really for the season for about, a solid 3-4 months now, they go into Cincinnati, and for the first time in a while, we've actually had some anticipation for the Bucks doing something good, and that something is being a spoiler for the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds heading into last night's matchup, controlling their own destiny, holding the final wild card spot barely over the New York Mets. They held the tiebreaker in that scenario, tied for the final wild card. Heading into last night's game, we're like, all right, Bucks, sucked for most of the year. Let's put together a good series here, maybe take 2 out of 3 from the Reds here, and if we're going to go down, at least drag them down out of the playoff picture with us. Good start to this series for the Bucks last night. We were live for about the first 2 innings. Top of the second inning, that is when the party got started for the black and gold. A massive 4-run top of the second, started off with a Jack Suwinski double. Then Nick York, remember him? Stuck in AAA all this year, and now he finally, when the games don't matter, gets to come up. He gets an RBI single. Alexander Canario, who was not even supposed to be in the lineup yesterday. Joey Bart was supposed to be in the lineup in his place as DH. Canario was supposed to be on the bench. Bart, wrist injury, does not play last night, so Canario, he fills in that spot. He brings home another run. And then Oneil Cruz, ladies and gentlemen, he, a opposite field 2-run home run, breaks the game wide open for the Buccos. He, with that home run, another great feat by this freak athletic player. He becomes just the 6th Pirate to have a 2020 season, multiple 2020 seasons, I should state for, correctness here. He joins Barry Bonds, Andrew McCutchen, Bonds 4 times, McCutchen 3 times, Starling Marte, Andy Van Slyke, and Dave Parker as Pirates players to have multiple 20 home run and 20 stolen base seasons. Congratulations to Cruz there. As a matter of fact, he's not just doing that. He joins only Barry Bonds as a Pittsburgh Pirates to have 20 or more home runs in a season, plus 35 or more stolen bases. So congratulations to Cruz. Hell of a feat there. Unfortunately, really doesn't even matter. And as a matter of fact, if you looked at the thumbnail for this show here today, I put in there "so good yet so bad." That kind of describes this Pirates team as a whole. Pirates so good pitching wise, yet throughout the season so bad with the bats that they are nowhere close to playoff contention. And the epitome of the team is Oneil Cruz. You will see him go out there and accomplish incredible feats. Hit a ball 500 feet, run like the wind, steal bases on some of the best defensive catchers in baseball, make outstanding catches in the outfield using his speed, and then he will make mind-numbing plays and swing at pitches you wouldn't even consider swinging if you were up at the plate, let alone a big leaguer. Cruz defines that, massive ceiling, but also super low floor. The negative to the ball game last night, I'm not sure how much these two struck out together, but Cruz and Brian Reynolds, they are the first pair of Pittsburgh Pirates teammates to strike out 160 or more times in the same season. They only trail the combo. As a matter of fact, they might have even broken it by now. They're probably going to beat their previous marker of 337 total strikeouts between the two that they set a couple of years ago. So, Cruz, hoping that he figures it out and puts it all together, but I'm not going to hold my breath. At least he puts it together for, this series to help us kick the Reds out of the playoffs. Back to the game itself. Johan Oviedo on the bump last night for the Buccos, still looking to continue his journey back to what he once was before Tommy John surgery in 2023. He last night, solid outing, 82 pitches, 50 of those were for strikes, ended up going 4 2/3 innings pitched, had 2 hits, gave up 2 hits, 2 earned runs. Those came on an Ellie De La Cruz 2-run home run. Didn't have his best control, 3 walks. Again, I think that's been sort of an issue with him. His biggest issue since coming back, his control hasn't really been there in the past couple of starts. And then 7 strikeouts as well. So good swing and miss stuff with, 12 swings and misses on 82 pitches. Not going to be the most lights out outing for him, but still, though, a good enough job to set his team up in a position to win. As a matter of fact, I don't even think I think he was a little upset, if I remember, coming out of the ball game last night when Donnie Kelly came out to the bump, sort of pointed towards the bullpen, and Oviedo not too happy that he was getting pulled. But hey, I like it, the fieriness of that competitor. One of the biggest or proudest guys on the team, wants to always do the best each and every time he goes out there. After that, Johan Oviedo's departure, Dari Moreta came in, got the final out of that bottom of the 5th inning. And then it was a bullpen game the rest of the way. Left-handed prospect pitcher Hunter Barco came in, made his major league debut fresh off of a call-up. He goes in, pitches a scoreless bottom of the 6th inning, and earns himself the win. Justin Lawrence, one of the other Pirate relievers that came in, had a solid shutdown inning. Dennis Santana gets the save in the bottom of the ninth, a game-ending double play with the tying run at the plate. The Bucks beating the Reds 4-2. Excellent, an excellent showing last night. Though I am getting a little bit worried. I know it's the end of the season, and they still got a whole off season to add bats here, but I hope this whole thing that they're doing where they score all of their runs in one inning and then they go the rest of the game without any offensive production whatsoever. I hope that trend doesn't continue. That worries me a little bit. On to tonight's ball game. The second part of that headline there on your screen. Lineup tonight for the Bucks in Game 2 of this petty matchup with the Cincinnati Reds. O'Neal Cruz leading off in center field. Jared Triolo at third base batting second. Brian Reynolds in right field. Spencer Horwitz at first base. Andrew McCutchen does the designated hitting. Tommy Pham left. Nick Gonzalez at shortstop. Nick York at second base. Henry Davis does the catching, of course, for Paul Skenes on the bump tonight. The final start for him in the 2025 season. And we will be watching this one closely because, as you see there, Skenes could make history tonight. I believe, if I remember correctly, the stat that was thrown out there today, if Paul Skenes goes 4 innings tonight of shutout baseball, and then assuming that he goes those 4 innings, shutout baseball, if the Pirates pull him right after that, he will finish the season with a sub-2 ERA, which is historic stuff. You're talking about the likes of Clayton Kershaw and Justin Verlander, Cy Young winners, future Hall of Famers that have accomplished that feat before. Skenes tonight, 4 innings of scoreless baseball. He will accomplish that. So after we're done here tonight, we're going to tune into that ball game, see how Skenes does. Also, begs you the dilemma, seeing how it is his final start. I know on one side you are going to have people say, all right, Skenes got his 4 innings of shutout baseball. Let's save him for the next season. Yank him after 4. On the other hand, though, do you want to pull the leash back on such a competitive guy, Skenes? If he goes out there and he's dealing, and Hunter Green for the Reds is dealing, wouldn't you want to, have your big dog, and I think he'll agree with this, just go out there and prove that he is the best pitcher out there on the field that night? I would think so. We'll see how they limit Skenes tonight. Depends on his pitch count, of course, and if he has any predetermined pitch count heading into tonight's ball game. So that is what we'll look for. Paul Skenes tonight, a chance to make history. 4 innings of scoreless baseball, and he will secure a sub-2 ERA. Unbelievable. Actually, not believable. It is not unbelievable. It's very believable. We said that this guy was going to be a gift from the baseball gods for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Has shown nothing short of that. It's just on the team now to next year and moving forward to start winning with him. All right, that takes us out of baseball talk, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure we will get back to that at some point later on in the show, maybe. Let's move now real quick into some football news. The Pittsburgh Steelers, surprisingly, still in Pittsburgh. I'm not going to act like I know their whole, travel schedule here, especially with this Ireland game, but they are still in Pittsburgh. Corner Darius Slay said today that the team will be leaving tomorrow for Ireland. They will be staying in Dublin Thursday to Sunday, and then that'll be Thursday in the afternoon. I guess they will leave, and they will get Friday morning arrival into Ireland. So interesting that the Steelers are still here. I think the Vikings are still here as well. And if I remember what I heard today, it's because there is some sort of practice field issue over in Dublin where one is not available to these teams. So that is why they are stuck in America for the moment and not able to go over there earlier. Either way, I think, not getting too far out of the normal routine here for the team would be beneficial. Don't want to spend too much time over there in Dublin. So the team still in Pittsburgh today. They held a practice, and good news. We talked about it yesterday. Mike Tomlin in his press conference saying that these two guys certainly have a chance to play here on Sunday. Joey Porter Jr. and Deshaun Elliott returning to practice today for the black and gold. You see them both moving around right there. I saw more videos of Deshaun Elliott than I did Joey Porter Jr. And yeah, he is moving well. I think whatever MCL sprain he had, it has completely subsided. I would be shocked if Elliott is not playing on Sunday. Joey Porter Jr., on the other hand, I guess he moved all right today. I'm a little bit more bullish on him than I am Deshaun Elliott, but quite honestly, I think Elliott would be the more important of the two to get back. That's not meant to be a slight at Joey Porter Jr. Just from a communication standpoint, Elliott very critical in getting the Steelers defense lined up and get them, doing the right things, which has clearly been a struggle throughout the season thus far. So Porter and Elliott on the road back in Steelers practice today. Also, another note on the practice field today, Jaylen Warren, Steelers running back, nothing, injury related on the injury report today for him. He did have his right leg in a compression sleeve. So wonder what that is about. We might need to monitor that moving forward. The practice report for today for the black and gold, the report quite big, but not too many injuries, though 5-6 players actually resting today, taking a vet day for the black and gold. Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, no surprises there. Darius Slay, he took a veteran rest day as well, though I think Mike Tomlin yesterday said that he had a leg contusion of some sort against the Patriots. So he is gonna, I guess, limit himself there. The other 3 resting vet days today, Jonnu Smith did not practice. Isaac Seumalo did not practice. And then Jaylen Warren, like we said, they're wearing the sleeve on his right leg. A light practice for him, but listed as a resting vet on the injury report. A couple other light practices today. Joey Porter Jr., Deshaun Elliott, we saw videos of them. You're seeing them right now. Light practices for them, which is a very positive sign that they could be ready to go by the time Sunday rolls around. The other light practice today, Patrick Queen, still dealing with a minor oblique injury. That thing got stirred up in the Seahawks game. Practiced quite well leading into the Patriots game. I assume it's going to be another, light practice Wednesday, maybe even a light practice or something Friday, a full practice actually, and then he'll be good to go. The last player mentioned on the injury report today, I sort of passed over him because he's already been rolled out. That is Isaac Seumalo, or Alex Highsmith, excuse me. Still on the mends from a high ankle sprain, did not practice, will not practice at all this week. Still looking sometime after the bye week for him to return. A couple other notes today from Steelers practice. A couple of players interviewed after practice today, but of course, when you need to talk about some good quotes, you go right to the top position on the team, that being quarterback. Aaron Rodgers spoke today what he's looking forward to in Ireland. His answer, Guinness. Guinness on tap is my favorite beer in the world. Don't think Rodgers is, that big of a beer drinker, but I know he wants to go get the Guinness on tap, just not don't hit it too hard before Sunday there. A-Rod, would like to see you have a better performance than you did last year. in Ireland with the Jets. Also, Rodgers mentioned this. This has been like a minor topic, but it's still, something people make a somewhat big deal out of. Rodgers still hating his new helmet. You remember he's been going through this whole helmet saga through training camp and the preseason, still trying to get used to this new helmet, I guess. So with that, we're going to stick here with some Pittsburgh Steelers news. The last Steelers news story, the main segment of the day. There's extra Steelers news coming up here in a little bit. The last Steelers main story of the day today, 6 Steelers. Or as a matter of fact, I don't think it was 6. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 8. My bad, I miscounted there. 8 Steelers today. Congratulations. They made the 128 player list of nominees for the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2026. This is in the modern era nominee category. Those 8 Steelers who are in the modern era category this year: kicker Gary Anderson, guard David DeCastro, linebacker James Ferrier, linebacker James Harrison, defensive back Carnell Lake, center Marquise Pouncey, defensive back Alan Rossum, and wide receiver Hines Ward. DeCastro and Pouncey, congratulations to them, especially they first-time nominees for the Hall of Fame. It's their first year of eligibility here. Solid group of 8 there who have contributed mightily to the Pittsburgh Steelers in their history. They also join a couple of other Steelers who were named nominees in the senior player division of the Hall of Fame class: L.C. Greenwood, Greg Lloyd, Lionel Taylor, and Byron White. Those 4 former Steelers in the senior division. That was announced a couple of weeks ago, but congratulations to those guys. I'm going to be honest here, calling it as I see it. Do not see anyone of that group possibly making it in as a first ballot Hall of Famer. Pouncey, I think, might be the best of the bunch there, but it's going to be tough for him. A loaded modern era class of nominees this year. Just going here position by position, looking at some of the guys in here. Quarterbacks: Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, first-time nominees. You still got Eli Manning in there. Running backs, loaded all around: Sean Alexander, Mike Allstott, Jamal Charles, Eddie George, Frank Gore, a first-time nominee. You still got LaShawn Shady McCoy in there, Marshawn Lynch. So that group's loaded. Wide receiver, I'd be shocked if this guy isn't first ballot Hall of Famer, even though he hasn't won a Super Bowl. Larry Fitzgerald, a first-time nominee. Some other wide receivers in there: Steve Smith, Reggie Wayne, Wes Welker, Jordy Nelson. Tight ends: Greg Olson, Jason Witten. Offensive linemen, we mentioned DeCastro and Pouncey as first-timers. Still got Nick Mangold there. Jeff Saturday, Joe Staley, Marshall Yonda. On defense, some top guys as nominees for the modern era this year: Geno Atkins, former Cincinnati Bengal. He's a first-time nominee. Jarrell Casey there as well. Linebackers: Terrell Suggs, former Raven, is still there. AJ Hawk, Luke Kuechly, Clay Matthews. Defensive backs: Cam Chancellor, Carnell Lake, who we mentioned, Asante Samuel, Patrick Surtain, Earl Thomas, Darren Woodson. So yeah, a ton of massive names out there. It's going to be hard, I think, for the Steelers to make it the first ballot around, but hopefully they will get to make it. at some point within this 10-year modern era span. Congratulations to them. All right, everyone, I'm going to get into the extra Pittsburgh sports news of the day here in a couple of moments. Real quick, going to take a break to see if we have any new news since we have been live here. I am seeing some positive overall news in the baseball world. Last night, scary moment in the Detroit Tigers-Cleveland Guardians game where David Fry for the Guardians, squaring to bunt, took a 99-mile-an-hour fastball from another, probable Cy Young winner, Tarek Skubal. That fastball hit him in the face, completely unintentional, scary incident. Apparently, Fry released from the hospital today. That's a good sign. Got an actual bit of extra news here. We do not have any extra Pittsburgh Pirates or baseball news here, but this is going to count for it. Baseball America. We've mentioned them a couple of times this week. They naming Connor Griffin, Pirates' top prospect, as the minor league player of the year. Also, he is the cover athlete for their prospect guidebook for this upcoming season. For next season, I should say. Minor league first team and second team all-star teams have been revealed. Connor Griffin making first team, making the first minor league all-stars team as a shortstop, and another Bucks prospect, Esmerlin Valdez, making the second team as a first baseman. So congratulations to those two. If it wasn't for Connor Griffin doing absolutely crazy things and just dominating like he's been there forever at each and every single level of the minor league system he's gone to, Esmerlin Valdez would be a bigger story. He's been on a hell of a rise himself. I want to say he started the year in like the 20s of Bucks prospects. He's all the way up inside the top 10 now. Hell of a big year for Esmerlin Valdez. Hopefully he continues it here. A couple of other noteworthy prospects here. Two division rivals of the Bucks. They got their top prospects on the first team, Sal Stewart and J.J. Weatherholt. Samuel Basallo, who just had a walk-off against the Bucks a couple of days ago. He made the first team. So that's that there. Congratulations to Connor Griffin and Esmerlin Valdez. On to the extra Pittsburgh sports news here for the day. Going to get into hockey, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, besides the Bucks game, which we will be watching, another game going on, and that is the Pittsburgh Penguins in their second preseason game. They will be taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets in Columbus at 7 p.m. Just a quick couple of things about that game tonight. We mentioned last night the Pens lineup for the game. Similar lineup to what they had in their first preseason game. A bunch of prospects who are most likely going to start the year in the AHL or get loaned back to their junior teams, and then some depth guys who are going to be fighting for roster spots. They are going to be going up against a Columbus Blue Jackets team, which they are playing some considerable starters. Charlie Coyle, Adam Fantilli, Sean Monahan, Boone Jenner, Kirill Marchenko, Kent Johnson. On defense, they got their top D-man, Zach Rowensky, out there tonight. And then I think their backup goaltender, Jet Greaves, he will be in net tonight for the Blue Jackets. So similar situation for the Pens. Taking a bunch of kids and vets fighting for jobs into a road venue against a team that is more or less having a dress rehearsal. Arthur Shalov's new Penguins goaltender got acquired from the Vancouver Canucks in the offseason. He will start the game tonight for the Pens, and then per Pens head coach Dan Muse, he will be relieved midway through the game for Philip Larson, an AHL goaltender for the Penguins. So we'll see the first look at a potential goaltender in the NHL this year for the Pens, a new guy in Shalov's tonight. For the Pens, though, the game tonight, not the only thing going on. This morning, the Mario Lemieux Sports Complex on the south in Cranberry for Pittsburgh. I always get them confused a little bit. They're both UPMC sports complexes. You got the UPMC Rooney Complex on the south side of Pittsburgh, where the Steelers practice. The UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex in Cranberry, where the Pens practice. It was jumping this morning. They, for the guys that will not be in the lineup tonight, held a scrimmage, and everyone on the ice got to see Evgeny Malkin, Sidney Crosby, Chris Letang, Erik Karlsson, Malkin and Sid on opposing teams. Malkin on a line with Danton Heinen and Anthony Mantha. We'll have to see if maybe those two could possibly carry over as line mates for Gino into the regular season. As for Crosby, who I believe was on Team Black, he centering a line with Brian Rust and Avery Hayes, who's a solid player in the AHL last year, looking to potentially make the team this year. Couple of quick notes from that scrimmage. Besides the lineups, Erik Karlsson, he was out there. Haven't heard much from him, strangely enough, through the first, pushing a week now of training camp. He today paired up with Parker Witherspoon, a free agent signing for the Pens. Witherspoon, Karlsson's defensive partner. I like that. Witherspoon, stay-at-home defenseman. Karlsson, we all know how much he loves to get involved in the offense. So Witherspoon being paired with Karlsson, I'm okay with that. I would assume then that lines up either Owen Pickering, maybe, if he makes the team, or more likely Ryan Graves to be Chris Letang's partner to start the regular season. Speaking of defensive pairings, Owen Pickering and Harrison Brunick, they were also paired again in the scrimmage today. From what I heard, didn't have the best day. Had a couple of players get in behind them, but hey, that's all right. Both kids figuring this out together. Sergei Murashov put together a good scrimmage. Here's my shocked face. And Sam Poulin looked solid. He and his line having a good scrimmage. And the last piece of news from that scrimmage today, Chris Letang apparently putting on a clinic. He had a hat trick for Team White in what I assume was a victory. Last I saw it was 4-2. I have not seen anything confirming what the final score of that scrimmage was, but Chris Letang with a hat trick. Breakout season for him, coming here at, 38, 39 years of age. So that's positive. Also very positive for his health as well. Anyways, after the scrimmage today, off the ice, Penguins head coach Dan Muse still winning over the people. He is putting a clinic together for public relations. While the scrimmage was going on, he wasn't on the bench or the ice. He was out opening up the door to the practice rink for about 50 or 60 fans, greeting them on the way in. So Dan Muse, I'm really hoping this guy nails it as a coach, because he is an A-plus character and person off the ice. After the scrimmage, Muse, holding a media session, said that Yoel Blomqvist, the other young goaltender besides Sergei Murashov for the Pens, he is out day to day. Did not feel 100% healthy, Muse said. So I wonder if he's just sick or if he maybe tweaked something in the preseason game against the Habs a couple of nights ago. Either way, hopefully Blomqvist will be good to go sooner rather than later. Here it is. Remember Penguins PR here, putting it out as a lower body injury. So hopefully Blomqvist will be all right moving forward. Also, another injury update, Noel Acciari, bottom six center penalty killer for the Pens, underwent core muscle surgery. He is still out indefinitely, but he was out there taking part of the morning skate today, wearing a non-contact jersey, skating with the team for the first time all training camp. So a positive sign in his road to recovery. Last piece of information here relating to the extra Pittsburgh Penguins news here for the day. The Pens today announcing that their radio network, they have relaunched a new map to where across Ohio, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania, they now have 43 new radio stations that they are going to be broadcasting out of. So thought that was cool. Expanding coverage of Pittsburgh Penguins hockey. You can tune into them tonight to listen to how the game goes. On to football here. Just a couple of extra Pittsburgh Steelers news stories for the day. Talking about the team, some members of the offense getting a lot of criticism from former members of the Steelers and football personalities with big microphones. Starting here, Ben Roethlisberger on his football and podcast. Big Ben really going to bat, I guess, for Aaron Rodgers more than anything here, but he roasted Broderick Jones, just torched him up one side and down the other. Talking about Jones, said that Jones is too upright in his pass block technique. He says that if he were to put a former teammate of his, James Harrison, out there in a game against Jones, he'd have 15 sacks. Also said that, Jones is going to get Rodgers hurt more or less. Said that the Steelers need to figure things out, offensive line, but man, just absolutely ripped Broderick Jones, and it didn't stop there. Colin Cowherd today said that the Steelers O-line is inexplicably bad, said that the Steelers need to go out and get a running back. Going to be honest here, Cowherd, not sure if I agree with you there. What good is a running back when you don't have an O-line to block for him? We've seen that story before with James Conner. We then saw it again with Najee Harris, who he cited there. So I don't think going out and getting a running back is going to solve the issues of the Steelers running backs getting first contact behind the line of scrimmage here. Last person here criticizing the Steelers today, Stephen A. Smith of ESPN on Get Up, on First Take today, saying that he does not expect much from the Steelers offense in this upcoming Ireland game against the Minnesota Vikings. Said that it's going to come down to their defense. I would usually be kind of critical with Stephen A. Smith because he's more of a, take things to the extreme guy, but we'll say kind of agree with him on that. Steelers offense still got some things to work out going up against a excellent defense with a brilliant and aggressive defensive coordinator in Brian Flores. I'm not going to expect much from the Steelers offense either, so they're going to need to come up with a couple of surprises up their sleeve. Maybe putting more wide receivers out on the field would help. I don't know. Saw from Matt Williamson today that the Steelers, they have had the lowest percentage of 3 wide receiver sets so far this season, but the highest percentage, I should say, of at least 2 tight end sets in the league. So 12, 13 personnel, a massive usage of that setup for the Steelers so far this year. Maybe we change it up a little bit. I don't know. Don't have much faith in the wide receivers either way. Final two things here today for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll occasionally hear a breakdown what is going on in the college football world and where Steelers scouts are off to and who they are scouting. Today, no college football games, but a Steelers scout, according to Jacob Brooks, who covers the Arizona State Sun Devils, the Steelers had at least one scout confirmed today at ASU's practice. That practice there featuring another top quarterback prospect, or projected top quarterback prospect in this year's draft class, Sam Leavitt. I should usually start saying projected because, yikes, this, what was supposed to be historic quarterback class for this upcoming draft, not looking too good. Cade Klubnik for Clemson, he looks absolutely terrible. Drew Aller, we haven't seen him against any real competition. That'll change this weekend. Lenora Sellers, banged up for South Carolina. They're 2-2. Garrett Nussmeier with LSU, I guess, is doing all right. Arch Manning, he's been pretty bad as well. So not looking good, the quarterback class. So the Steelers, they are going to need to do homework on just about every draft out eligible college quarterback for this upcoming draft. Last Steelers piece of news here for the day, and it is a birthday. Happy 79th birthday to arguably, but also kind of inarguably, the greatest Pittsburgh Steeler of all time, Mean Joe Green, 79 years old today. Thank you. Happy birthday to you, Mean Joe. Thank you for being the cornerstone of what this historic, all-time great franchise in NFL history has come to be. Would not be that way or even close without you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, looking here, think that is going to wrap things up here for the day. Just taking one last stroll through Twitter before we log off for the night here. I'm scrolling past this post from NHL. Since when did the Carolina Hurricanes get new jerseys? I assume this is an away jersey or hopefully an alternate. A all black and white logo on a white jersey with the sleeves red and black. That don't get that. I don't like that alternate jersey there. Also another piece of news we covered yesterday: the New York Giants benching Russell Wilson in favor of Jackson Dart, and how that will affect the Steelers' compensatory pick. I think right now it's projected to go from a 3rd round pick to a 5th or 6th round pick. If there was any hopes out there, small hopes, that, Wilson might reach the incentive mark to where he would get the Steelers a higher draft pick. It doesn't look like it's going to be that way. I think I saw something today. Wilson, no plans of making a trade request or a release request. So Wilson going to stay there, going to be the backup for the Giants moving forward. And the main backup, from what I understand. No, hey, you're just done, go to emergency QB3. Jameis Winston's going to, overlap you. So that's that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, not seeing much else here. So I think that is going to wrap things up here today. A little bit of a shorter live stream, but hey, that's all right. They're not all going to be hour and a half like what we've been doing on here for really the past week or so. It was a hectic couple of live streams leading into the Patriots game, and then Monday and Tuesday had a lot of viewers in here and had a lot to talk about. So we're okay to take a day off, and for good reasons. Gonna go watch Paul Skenes tonight, and for the final time in 2025, A shame. It's just such a wasted season for him. They're showing him right now on Sportsnet Pittsburgh that ERA sitting at 2, exactly 2. Like I said, 4 innings of scoreless baseball tonight. He will get that ERA below 2 for the season against the Reds in his career. I think 4-0. They just showed on the graphic there. Didn't get a look at what all it said, but 4-0, I saw that. So let's see if Skenes can continue that success, possibly make it 5-0 if they let him go that deep here tonight. And also, we will tune in, of course, to the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. We'll break down what happens in that game, what happens in this game, and any other little bit of Steelers news that comes across the wire between now and this time tomorrow. Honestly, not going to expect that much because it will be a travel day to Ireland, but we will talk about anything going on there. With that, thank you for joining me for the final time tonight. Please hit that subscribe button if you are new here and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again, up to 557 subscribers on the channel. So I appreciate those of you who have subscribed. Also, like, share, comment on this live stream after the fact. Go give the channel a follow at Steel City SR on Facebook, Instagram, and X. And be sure to tune back in a little bit later on from now for a new edition of SCSR 60. Thank you. Have a good rest of your Wednesday night. Back here tomorrow to talk more Pittsburgh sports news. Peace.